Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. And now, let's join ace broadcaster MAMODE AKUGHA as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, MAMODE AKUGHA. Nigerian President Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called on the Ogoni people of Rivers State to let go of their grievances and work together with him and his administration to bring peace, development, and environmental restoration to their communities. President Tinubu, who also acknowledged the sacrifices of those who lost their lives in the Ogoni struggle for justice, noted that his administration would ensure peace, justice, and sustainable development in Ogoni land. The president made this known last week when he met with some leaders of Ogoni land led by the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, at the State House, Abuja.
In 1993, at the peak of the Ogoni people's struggle for economic, social, and environmental justice, the movement for the survival of the Ogoni people, MOSOP, under the leadership of Ken Saro-Wiwa, declared Shell Petroleum Development Company (SPDC) operating in the area persona non grata.
We are going to demand our rights peacefully, non-violently, and we shall win.
This move brought to a standstill the oil exploration and exploitation activities in the area that had been at the root of the Ogoni people's woes since it began in the late 1950s. This decision dealt a significant blow to Nigeria's crude oil-dependent economy, with losses running into millions of dollars in revenue. This led to the arrest, prosecution, and eventual execution of Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 other Ogoni activists in 1995. Until their execution, they had remained steadfast in their demands for the remediation of Ogoni communities severely impacted by crude oil exploitation and exploration activities. Successive governments have made several efforts to resume oil production in the area, but these attempts were met with resistance from the Ogonis. The people, however, still continue to insist that their land be properly cleaned up before any resumption of exploration activities. They are also demanding for the exoneration of Ken Saro-Wiwa and his comrades, whom they insist were unjustly executed. As part of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's drive to boost Nigeria's oil production to over 2 million barrels per day in the country, last week held a meeting with Rivers State Governor Sir Siminalayi Fubara and some Ogoni representatives at the presidential villa in Abuja. Discussions centered on modalities of how to get the 10 oil fields of Oil Mining Lease OML 11 that are located in the 4 local government areas that make up Ogoni land back on stream 32 years after the wells were shut in.
We cannot in any way rewrite the history, but we can correct some anomalies going forward. Let us put the grievances of the past aside. It cannot heal the wounds, but I know what to do in the memory of our beloved ones so that their sacrifices will not be in vain.
Governor Fubara, who led the delegation, expressed gratitude to the president and pledged to work collaboratively with him and his team to ensure a swift resolution of all issues and the resumption of oil production in Ogoni land. National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu commended the delegation for demonstrating a willingness to end the standoff with the federal government and the oil companies.
Their willingness to participate in this dialogue reflects a shared hope for meaningful progress and enduring solutions.
The Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas Lawal, who was also at the meeting, provided an update on the ongoing cleanup of oil-impacted communities in Ogoni land.
In the area of remediation, what is the most important area we are trying to address, we have done about 36 sites. They have been completed and they have been certified as environmentally conducive for people to continue doing that.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Mixed reactions have continued to trail President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's recent meeting in Abuja with Rivers State Governor Sasimlaye Fubara and some Ogoni leaders over the federal government's plan to resume oil production in Ogoni land after more than 32 years of inactivity. Some Ogonis, including the widow of Nodo Eawo, one of the activists executed alongside Ken Saro-Wiwa, have criticized the meeting, arguing that the federal government must engage directly with the Ogoni people at the grassroots rather than a selected group of so-called leaders who they claim have consistently failed to represent the interests of their communities.
After the meeting that was held in Abuja last week, Inside the Niger Delta visited some of the Ogoni communities in Tai, Kana and Gokana local government areas to gather the thoughts of the people and their reaction to the ongoing plans for resumption of crude oil production in their communities. While they are not averse to the plans of the federal government, they however condemn the idea of meeting with the selected persons in Abuja rather than initiating a broader dialogue with the local communities directly affected by decades of environmental, social and economic injustice caused by oil activities.
Nobody, they say, make president, make Nigeria not take oil from Ogoni. They can come down and talk to the youth, the female, the men of Ogoni people. We get some people that supposed to contribute. I cannot go to Abuja. And it's part of the struggle.
They will meet and they will meet. Me, I have no issue about their meeting. But when they come to Ogoni, it is when we know they are out for something.
The blind widow of Nodu Iyawo, one of the Ogoni 9 executed in 1995, expressed deep bitterness and despair with the government's handling of the Ogoni case. Her hopelessness mirrored the plight of her children and countless others in Ogoni who have grown up in the shadow of injustice and haunted by the memory of their fathers brutally taken from them. She added that any engagement with the people must address the underlying issues, including the unacknowledged and gruesome executions that scarred their lives and their land.
He
said that if really the federal government want to do something and they want to resume oil in Ogoni land, they should look into the Ogoni Bill of Rights. Then they should come and settle the families of the victim, especially because since the death of his late husband, none of his children have been able to go to school. None of his families have been able to go to school. So they cannot leave this for poverty on them and resume oil again, unless they are ready to kill the remaining one in his family.
Yes,
Donubari Asogo, while acknowledging the potential benefit of resuming oil production in Ogoni land, when he took our crew to several oil-impacted sites in Goi and Zakpo communities, stressed that such sites scattered across Ogoni land must be cleaned and remediated in line with the demands and aspirations of the people, which led to the suspension of oil production back in 1993.
As I speak today, with all these things that have been done, they have done here, we do not benefit anything. The community do not benefit anything. Neither the people. What we are saying is that if the people are coming they should come in a genuine way, not coming to to start operation again without cleaning this mess that you have done here.
When Inside the Niger Delta asked His Royal Majesty Ndigbara about the performance of the Hydrocarbon Pollution and Remediation Project (HYPREP) in implementing recommendations of the 2011 United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP) report, which documented the extent of ecological devastation in Ogoni land, his response was far from optimistic.
HYPREP did not do anything. I said nothing. That's why I say presidents should send people, because in go hear talk from people. They say they clean water here. Where the water they rush? Nowhere. No place.
Many therefore submit that local communities must be directly involved in the discussions initiated by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Only then, they argue, can these talks lead to tangible outcomes.
Inside the Niger Delta. Standout Properties Limited presents a real estate opportunity of a lifetime. Bloom Towers, a waterfront twin high-rise buildings of 19 and 21 stories at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean in the prestigious Oniru area, Victoria Island, Lagos. Bloom Towers is a green and smart building project consisting of 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments and maisonettes, as well as 10,300 square meters available space for commercial and corporate use. Built for completion in 2027, Bloom Towers has 236 units available for sale with a starting price of 100 million naira. Lock down a unit today with a down payment of 20% and spread the balance over the next 24 months. Contact us on 080-693-47016 or 09122-656-975.
It is a project that will bring huge return on investment.
Bloom Towers, from foundation to skyline. Ezekiel Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. Ezekiel Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Dr. Samuel Obuku, says the intervention agency will adhere strictly to the Governance Advisory Report of KPMG in rebuilding the image of the NDDC. The Managing Director made this known recently while receiving the Governance Advisory Report from KPMG at its corporate headquarters in Port Harcourt. Dr. Obuku noted that once adopted by the board of the NDDC, it will become a framework for building a good governance structure for the NDDC, which he says is positioned to bring the needed development to the oil-rich region.
In August 2023, the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC embarked on a partnership with globally renowned management consultants KPMG to revamp its internal governance processes and structures for improved service delivery across the Niger Delta region. The management consultants last week presented a customized advisory report with a new governing framework and operational guidelines for the intervention agency at its corporate headquarters in Port Harcourt.
Now that we've completed the design phase and we've submitted the documentations, both for the board policies as well as the management policies, the next stage is the implementation phase, which we expect to be the final phase.
The much-anticipated policy document is expected to transform the Commission's operations, rebuild the confidence of local communities on the NDDC, and foster stronger collaboration with other development stakeholders to drive sustainable peace and development in the oil-rich region. The Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Obuku, who was upbeat about the reforms outlined in the new framework, said it would be adopted by all directorates and departments in the Commission. He added that it is part of the renewed commitment of the regional agency to move away from transactional to transformational mode of operations.
We are transiting from transaction to transformation. This is going to be the tool that will enable us to meet up that transition process. Because in transition, we also need a guide. And this report, once adopted by the board of the NDDC, is going to be that guide that will also regulate us both internally and externally.
In a different development, the Niger Delta Development Commission last Friday commemorated the International Day of Education 2025 at 2 secondary schools and some streets in Port Harcourt, where they sensitized the people on the theme of the year, which is Artificial Intelligence and Education, Preserving Human Agency in the World of Automation. The two schools visited are Stella Maris College and St. Mary's Catholic Model Schools, both in Port Harcourt.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Residents of communities in AKUGHA local government area of Delta State, where there are ongoing flood control and road projects, have expressed their gratitude to Governor Sheriff Oborevwori for what they describe as his uncommon strides in infrastructure development across the state. The people who noted that the projects are a testament to the commitment of the government in boosting the quality of life of Deltans said when completed, the projects will stem persistent flooding in their communities, improve accessibility, and stimulate economic growth in the local government.
Last week, some state government officials inspected the 20-kilometer storm drainage project in Osubi, Ugolokpe, Okwokoko, Orerokpe, and surrounding areas within Okpe local government area of the state. The massive underground drainage system, which was initiated last year, is designed to handle large volumes of water efficiently to ensure the safety of residents, prevent recurrent flooding, and protect critical infrastructure in the affected areas. Beyond flood control, the state government is currently working on the Orerokpe Okuloho Oviri Okpe Aragba Okpe Road as well as the Orwe Esezi Road project to improve connectivity and stimulate socio-economic activities in the area.
I like the road when it do so. May God protect Sheriff. We're happy for the road because the road before, they feel they pass accidents and different things they happen. But as it do so, God go bless and where the town now call open. It can make our town open every year called day good. May God bless and give a good health and long life.
It's going to be a massive and good thing today because the way it is, the water will be flowing fine and well. There won't be any road flood anymore.
Also, in Sapele local government area, works were at different stages of completion on the Shell Extension Road, the Hausa Extension Road, and the NDDC Sapele Road.
The road from the council veering into Aurora Road was impassable, especially when it rains. Today, he has done a good job, not only in Sapele, I'm told. I read in the newspapers, the whole 3 zones of the Delta State, Ijo area, Irobo area, Anyoma area, all are being carried along.
Since the Oborevwori administration came on board in May 2023, it has embarked on some major multi-billion naira infrastructure projects, such as the ongoing Ugeli-Asaba dualization project and the 3 flyover projects in Warri and environs. In spite of these and other huge financial obligations in the state, the administration has remained prudent in its spending without incurring any debt within or outside the shores of the country. The State Commissioner for Finance, Fidelis Tilije, confirmed this when he spoke to journalists recently in Asaba.
Paid so much in terms of contractual obligation. We have ensured that all debts have been paid down as seriously as we can. We have also improved in terms of contractual relationship with our contractors. I can tell you, this is the strongest state that has financial muscles to do whatever we need to do, even if fact does not exist again in the next 3 years.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Residents of Orogun in Ugeli North local government area of Delta State have commended the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC for the construction of a corpus lodge and the installation of solar-powered street lights within their community. The residents who spoke with our crew last week noted that the new lodge will enhance the living conditions of corps members as it will provide a more conducive environment for their service to the community. They also added that the newly installed solar power streetlights by the NDDC have transformed their community, making evening walks safer as well as boosting the socio-economic fortunes of the people in the area.
In Nigeria, corps members posted to states outside their home regions sometimes face many challenges, including finding suitable accommodation. Recognizing this difficulty, the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) has taken proactive steps to ensure a more comfortable and conducive environment for young graduates observing their mandatory one-year national service in the oil-rich Niger Delta region. In Delta State, corps members who are already enjoying their state-of-the-art lodge at the Federal Polytechnic Orogun in Ughelli North local government area of the state are grateful for the befitting accommodation. They commended the management team of the NDDC under the able leadership of Dr. Samuel Obuku for the initiative, which they say makes them feel at home.
The Corpus Lodge, which is built in Federal Polytechnic by the NDDC in Orogun, is nice. It's actually a comfortable place for me and other coppers.
Meanwhile, beyond the construction of a coppers lodge, the NDDC has also lighted major roads and some streets in Orogun community with its solar-powered streetlights under the Light Up the Niger Delta scheme, an initiative that aims to improve security and enhance the overall quality of life of the people.
The community, let me say, before 6 o'clock, everywhere will be dark, but ever since LDC bring this light, so I can even walk to any time that I like to close.
The solar light has been put in place, and it certainly stand out from all other solars we have had in the past. It's working perfectly at this medium now. I say thank you once again, NDDC.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The Bayelsa State government says the decision to shut down illegal motor parks and relocate them to the newly constructed ultra-modern intercity transport terminal at Igbogene is already yielding positive results. According to the state government, this policy has significantly improved the decency, orderliness and serenity of the state capital. Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Lawrence Erujakpo, made this known during a meeting last week with members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, and private transport company owners in Government House, Yenagoa.
In December last year, the Bayelsa State government, through its Ministry of Transport, relocated all motor parks within Yenagoa town and its environs to the newly constructed interstate transport terminal in Igbogene. According to the government, this would not only enhance the city's beauty, but also help curb crime by enabling better monitoring of passengers within the state. Just like other new policies, some residents and stakeholders expressed concerns about the development, which they say complicates their situation, as it creates even more financial burden on them to access the central terminal before embarking on their journeys. Last week, members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers and private transport company owners echoed similar concerns during a meeting with the Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Lawrence Erujakpo, at the Government House in Yenagoa. They, however, acknowledged the efforts of the state government in building a modern city and appeal for an expansion of the new terminal to accommodate the growing number of vehicles and passengers.
We are with the government, and I think from the beginning of this program, we're together, no matter the inconvenience the program, the police have created, and they will try to ensure that we support government to achieve what government intends. Indeed, the terminal is becoming a business hub, but the issue is that the space available is not really enough, and that has been a lot of, even this morning after he left, I have to go to my point and begin to do some kind of a walk, because everywhere crowded.
Reacting to the demands by the union representatives and other concerns, Senator Eruchakpo reaffirmed the government's commitment to prioritizing the welfare of citizens while implementing policies that he said would drive the wheels of development in the oil-rich state and improve the overall quality of life of all Bayelsans.
If we want to get it perfect, before we put it into that pack, we cannot move in. All we do is as we move in, we address the challenges that come with it. In any case, everything comes with challenge. Our intention is to make this state better than what we met. And it's very important that we do that. Because I always tell people, you're occupying the office is not what is important. It's what you're leaving behind that is most important.
The ultra-modern terminal at Igbogene boasts of state-of-the-art facilities as well as an organized layout designed to streamline transportation services in the state.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The executive governor of Edo State, Senator MAMODE Okpebholo, last week swore in 6 newly appointed commissioners and 4 chairmen of parastatals in the state. He charged the new appointees to serve the state with a shared sense of purpose and dedication, which he says will be the driving force to achieving rapid development in the state. The governor also noted that his administration is committed to ensuring the overall development of the state.
I encourage you to work with shared sense of purpose, prioritize teamwork, and remain focused on improving the lives of our citizens. Today, we can make Edo State a model of growth and prosperity.
The governor last week also commissioned some heavy-duty machinery and vehicles procured by the Edo State government to bolster the operations of its waste management agency. Senator Okpebholo, who charged the staff of the agency to put the equipment to good use, noted that the acquisition was conceived to ensure a cleaner and healthier environment across the state by improving waste collection, disposal, and overall sanitation services. Meanwhile, the governor also welcomed the First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, last week to Edo State, where she distributed food items to vulnerable groups through her foundation, the Renewed Hope Initiative. In her remarks, Senator Oluremi, who was represented by the wife of the Vice President, Hajia Nana Shettima, noted that the Renewed Hope Initiative would continue to support government policies and programs to make lives better for all Nigerians.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles shown right now on your screens. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria for these stories and many more. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA, thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.